So that was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. But that's a good thing, because that's the whole point of this fourth quarter challenge, is to do things that stretch me and do things that are difficult. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be basically talking about my fourth quarter 100-day sprint to the finish line. So as of today, when you're watching this video, we are 100 days out from the end of the year, which means you only have 100 days left to possibly accomplish those goals you set at the beginning of the year. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm looking back on my goals for the entire year, which I'll talk about at the end of this series, which again, last time I was doing this, or my last video, I talked about how my series was going to be titled The Unknown, and it got me thinking just about the year in general. I was doing some basically reflection on this year, and a lot happened this last week that kind of made me switch gears towards almost like the bigger picture as opposed to for a single race. So just a recap of everything that happened in the last week. I had my uncle pass away for a routine procedure, going in for an angiogram on Tuesday. My dad went in for the same procedure on Monday. He was supposed to get a stent put in. Did not go according to plan. So instead of putting a stent in, when he got out, he found out he has to have triple bypass surgery, which will take place in 2 weeks. I also didn't realize that my grandpa, which is my dad's dad, also had bypass surgery. They said it's kind of hereditary, so I had a lot of thinking to do when I was in the waiting room waiting for my dad to get out of surgery. So you can imagine, as I was sitting in the waiting room, I just had a lot of time to basically reflect, think on my goals, but I think it's more just a wake-up call for me that I'm not as disciplined and I don't have as much willpower as maybe it comes off. Just for instance, one thing that I've struggled with and have struggled with my entire fitness journey for the past 15 years, even more than 15 years, is I love food. And that's working out isn't that hard for me. Running isn't that hard for me. But when it comes to the nutrition part, that is something that I really struggle with. That is something that I see food as something more than just fuel, and it derails me a lot of time. For instance, when we go over to my mom's house every Sunday, my discipline for the entire week, Monday through Saturday, pretty much goes out the door because I'm surrounded by good foods, like I said, like sweets, cookies, brownies, dessert, chips, dip, obviously dinner, and I have no willpower, no discipline when it comes to Sunday nights. It's easy the rest of the week because I'm not around it, but once I get around it, it shines a light on basically my weaknesses. So also I got my results back for my surgery on Thursday, and no surgery, or I'm sorry, I got my results back from my shoulder MRI. As of right now, don't need surgery. They said there's no tear, just really bad tendonitis, really bad arthritis. That same day I went in for an MRI for my back, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. So just a lot going on that made me want to start like really, again, I may struggle with this and I may not even be able to do it, but I figured I'd put it out there and just kind of let you guys know where I'm at. I really want to see what I can accomplish in the next 100 days before the year ends, so that when the beginning of the year starts, then it's like I start over in a really good position. Because right now I'm gonna in this video I'll tell you guys basically all my stats, because I basically did a whole benchmark week of this week, not just my weight and my body fat and everything, which I'm gonna get tested later today, but I did a benchmark for all the areas that I'd like to improve over the next 100 days. Now that doesn't mean I'm not gonna obviously do the High Rocks if it comes about. I still plan on doing that race December 7th, but my overall focus, like I'm gonna be training with that, but I'm gonna be also training towards my 100-day goal, because that is something that I can't control. Training for something that I may not even be able to do, I know mentally that's going to kind of bum me out if I'm training and thinking, oh, I'm going to be in really good shape for this high rocks, I'm going to beat my time, and then it turns out that I don't even get off the wait list and I can't do the race. I know mentally that's going to bum me out, and I'm afraid I'll just basically, oh, I'm not going to, you know, I didn't get to do the race, so whatever, I'll just, you know, it's the holidays, I'll just jump back into my bad habits, and I don't want to do that. So I figured if I did this, and my goal was to get me ready, not, I want to finish the year strong, but I'm focusing on starting the year strong, because I want to, it's not like I'm going to get to the end of the year and be like, okay, cool, I'm done, you know, forget all my progress. No, I want to make a lot of progress, so when the year starts, I can hopefully set my goals higher than I did last year, just by pushing for this next 100 days. Now, don't get me wrong, if I do get off the wait list for the high rocks, of course I'm going to do that, because that'll be kind of just a fun little benchmark to see if my training even improved. When I wasn't training for a specific high rocks, but just training harder, I want to see if it improved from my last high rocks. So I just finished up one of my benchmarks. I did a 3-mile run. So I wanted to see how fast I could run 3 miles, because it's kind of a workout I do frequently, usually a couple times a week, but I've never actually tried to run 3 miles as fast as I can. Now, earlier this week I did do I tested my mile time, which I'll go over all the results from all my benchmarks and also let you guys know what goals I'm going to try to improve over the next 100 days. But one thing about that 3-mile run, which I liked, I've never done it before, so I kind of feel like I'm a white belt or a newbie in a lot of these areas, including my mile time. I've only tested that, I think, 3 times my entire life, the third one being this week. But I've never actually tested how fast I could run 3 miles. And that was difficult because pacing comes into play. Like, I don't know how to control a higher pace or a faster pace for a sustained amount of time. Like, I know how to come out fast, but then if I come out fast and I burn out, then it's like I'm not even going to finish the 3 miles. So I'm actually having fun finding these certain paces that are very, very difficult and trying to sustain them. And I realized that today, that you basically just got to sit in a very uncomfortable spot for a while. Because at about 1.5 miles, I was like, this is very uncomfortable, to the point where it's like, okay, I probably should dial it back. I can't really push it farther. But it was very uncomfortable. Mentally, I was like, oh, I'm done. But obviously, I was able to push through it, which I had about 1.5 miles, obviously, left in the tank, even after my mind was like, no. But I did realize, and I feel like I left it a good job of giving it my all, because the last 1/4 mile, when I tried to turn it on and like run as fast as I can, it was very hard for me to get my legs to turn over, just because they were fatigued from holding that pace for the duration of the time. So anyway, I got one more benchmark, which I'm going to do right now, and then I'm going to go in, eat breakfast, go get my body fat tested, and then I will basically go over all my goals for this 100-day challenge. All right, so we are back from getting my body fat tested, and so I got the results for my body fat tested, and let me tell you, your boy is fluffy. I think this is the heaviest I have ever recorded in, or come in, or at least documented my body fat wise. I'm super heavy. So looking at this, we're going to start with my overall weight right now, currently on September 21st. So my first goal, as I go through each of these, I'm going to talk about where I'm currently at, and then what my goal moving forward for basically the 4th quarter. And the reason why I call it the 4th quarter is because on October 1st, we will be in the 4th quarter of the year. And it makes me think of like when I played football. Anytime it was 4th quarter, you've ever seen movies, they hold up 4th quarter, and it's basically like, leave it all out there. You only got one more quarter. This is where you really got to lock in. So that's kind of my mindset going forward with this 4th quarter, is I want to see exactly what I can do within the next 100 days. Now, as I'm going through this, if this like sparks a fire in you that you want to join in on it, then obviously just comment below, saying DBA, saying I'm down, whatever, locked in. Just let me know, because then it's like I want to see how many people are happy with where they're at, because that's really what this whole point of this 100 days is looking back. I'm not happy with where I'm at with my discipline, where I'm at with my willpower, where I'm at with saying I'm going to do something and not following through on it. I hate that feeling, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, if I'm being honest with you guys. So first goal I'm going to be tackling within the next 100 days is weight loss. So fat loss particularly. So I'm currently sitting, according to this in-body scan, which I've done I've done one on November 22nd of 23. I've done one on 2/16 of 24. I've done one on June 1st of 24. My last one was 7/30/24. My last one I weighed in at 208.3, and I was 14.7% body fat. As of this morning at 11 o'clock, I weighed in at 218.7, the highest I've ever weighed in on an in-body, and my current body fat is 16.5. My goal is to get, by the end of the year, January 1st, basically come in at, it will actually be probably, I think January 4th. So January 4th, it's basically 15 weeks away. So I got 15 weeks to basically lose. My goal is to get below 10% body fat. And if I did the math right, because according to this, I'm sitting at, my lean body mass is 182.5. Well, that's kind of cool, because according to the one before this, I was at 176.8. So my lean body mass went up by 6 pounds. So that's cool. And I put on some muscle, obviously, in the past couple weeks. But goal is to maintain that 182 lean body mass, maybe even increase it, but really get below 10%. So first goal of the 100 days, get below 10% by the end of this. And that will probably have me weighing in at about 195. So that's my weight goal moving forward. Now my plan to drop the weight is, obviously, for the past couple weeks I've been maintaining, and my maintenance calories are pretty much sitting around 2,700 calories. So my goal starting tomorrow on September 22nd, I will drop my calories to roughly about 2,300 calories. And that's where I will go as long as I keep losing weight, losing body fat. So I'm going to drop down to 2,300 calories. Now my first strength goal, because like I said, I've never really focused on strength before. I've always said, like, I'm the fittest weak person you'll ever meet, just because I haven't really focused on strength. However, these past couple weeks, I've really been focusing on pushing my body and trying to grow my strength, and it looks like, according to this, I have, because I put on 6 pounds of muscle. So I'm going to still keep that foot on the pedal and try to obviously increase my strength. So I needed to know exactly where I am at on all my lifts. So I chose lifts that I want to increase. So first one I chose was my bench press. So when I did my bench press max on Monday, I basically got up to 245, which I was happy with, considering I haven't done that. Now weighing in at 218, that's not the best, but it is what it is. So I did 245, so I want to obviously increase that. It'd be cool, I don't know if this will be possible, but we're going to shoot for it. Maybe get up to 275 if I really focus on my strength. And then I wanted to see how many times I could rep 135, because I want to build strength, but I also want to build muscle endurance. So I figured how I basically gauge that is I did 135 for 20 reps. So at the end of this, hopefully hit 275 and hit 135 for maybe 30 reps. That'd be pretty cool. So those, again, I'm telling you where I'm at and what my goals are moving forward. That same day, I also ran my mile time, so I wanted to see how fast I could run a mile. This is basically the third time I've ever timed it, and on that day I ran a 7-minute 26-second mile. My goal is to get under 7. If I could run maybe a 6:50 mile, I'd be super excited for that. And again, if I drop my weight like 20 pounds, if I drop 23 pounds, I think that's obviously going to help me. That'll help me on the endurance side of things. So mile currently 7 minutes 26 seconds. My goal in the 100 days, get it down to just under 7 minutes, so 6:50. I'd be cool with that. And then on Wednesday, I was gonna see what my deadlift was at. However, I still haven't got the results back from my back MRI. My back's been not feeling good, and every back injury I've ever had is when I deadlifted. As much as I would like to say, oh, I have this bench, this squat, this overhead press, and this deadlift, I don't want to do the deadlift and possibly mess myself up. So I'm really checking my ego, and I just am not going to be measuring my deadlift. I am going to measure my pull-ups though, because that is something that I feel like if you could do a lot of pull-ups, you have really good muscle endurance, and honestly, you're just overall strong. Something I'm not good at either. It's just something I'm not good at. So on Wednesday, on my pull day, I tested my pull-ups and I got 12 pull-ups. I'm not happy with that. However, my goal is to, obviously the weight comes down. I'll be lighter when I pull myself up. I'm gonna shoot for 20. I probably should be taking notes on this, right? So, what did I say? 270 max, 30 reps. I'm gonna say 650. I'm gonna say pull-ups. I'm gonna say 20. So I did that on my pull day. On Thursday, I did legs, and my squat, which I was actually pretty impressed with, just because, like I said, my lower back, and I haven't squatted in a long time. I actually hit 295. So my goal with that, I'd be cool with hitting 3 plates. I haven't done that in a long time, so we're gonna put 315 for that. So 100 days from now, I'll be at 315 on squat. I also forgot, so I'll probably do it this week and let you guys know. I want to see how many times I can rep. See how many times I could hit 135 on squats too, because I think that would be a really good muscle endurance. So I'm going to throw that in. Friday I did shoulders and I tested my overhead press. You can see that I tried 155, however I didn't get it. So I figured I'd do I think 145 is probably right where I'm at when it comes to my overhead press. That was also the day that I found out that I have really bad arthritis in my shoulders, so it is what it is. And then as for today, my goal was to see how fast I could run 3 miles. I've never done that test before, and like I said earlier in the video, that was very hard for me. So my overall time with that, I came in with 26 minutes and 26 seconds. I mean, my goal was to get under 27, because I think my minute per mile pace was like 8:24. So if I could do maybe an 8 minute per mile, that would be really cool. I'd be cool with that. So I'm going to shoot for that one. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to shoot for 24 minutes for the 3 mile. And then my overhead press, I didn't say my overhead press. My overhead press, I'm going to hope and get that up to, so heavy. So if I'm able to increase my overhead press to 165, I'd actually be cool with that. And then for push-ups, I wanted to see what my push-up endurance was, because I think that's a good test of obviously muscle endurance. And I'm also physique-wise, if I have a physique goal, I'm trying to increase my chest size just because I'm not too happy with it. So today, after I ran, which I'll test it again at the end of 100 days, once I'm done with my 3 mile, I'll test my max push-ups. So my max push-ups today, I hit 30. Not the best. Back in my prime, when I was in high school, I think I hit 90 in like a minute. But I was lean. I was like 180 or something like that. So I think that covers it for my 100-day fourth quarter sprint. So if you guys are basically in the same situation as me, where you would like to just become the better version of yourself going into New Year's, I didn't want to wait till New Year's. I didn't want to, even though I know, because a lot of people are like, oh, you got the holidays coming up, probably not the best idea. You're right, I got the holidays coming up. I got my daughter's birthday coming up. I got my anniversary next week. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. But that's why I'm giving myself, usually I do like an 8-week transformation or something like that. This is a 15-week transformation. This is literally the longest transformation, so I have plenty of time to take it slow, make adjustments throughout the 15 weeks. So I'm pretty confident by the end of the 15 weeks, when the new year rolls around, I should be coming in at below 10% body fat, benching 275, hitting 135 for 30, running a 650 mile, running a 24-minute 3 mile, hitting, how many push-ups? I'm going to shoot for 50. Actually, I'm going to shoot for 60. I'm shooting big. Hitting 60 push-ups, hitting 20 pull-ups, back squat 315, and then overhead press 165. I think I'd be very happy with myself if I was able to follow through on that. The hardest part, like I said before, is the diet. That's something I really need to focus on. And with everything going on right now, I think it's a perfect time to really, really, really discipline myself when it comes to nutrition. and really just think about how I want to feel, how I want to look at the end of the 100 days. How do I want to start the new year? Do I want to come in at a really good place? I raise my ceiling, and then I could start setting even bigger goals when January 1st rolls around. That's kind of my thought process. So I don't know. Let me know in a comment below if you're kind of in the same situation as me, where you've been kind of chipping away, but you're not really happy with where you are at, with just your mental health, your physical health, anything like that. And let me know if you want to partake in this 100-day challenge with yourself at the end of the day, because you're not competing against me. I'm not competing against you. I'm competing with the person that I want to be going into 2025. That is the whole point of this fourth quarter 100-day challenge. We got to finish strong. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. I want to prove to myself, because mentally I'm at a state where I'm like, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm just like, the voice of average comes in and it's like, no, you're not going to follow through on that, just because I haven't been following through on the little things. And I want to raise that belief in myself. I want to raise that discipline again. So I figured this is it. So I'm kind of excited to start tomorrow, September 22nd. Already got my meals prepped. Already got the fridge stocked with what I need to hopefully be successful in this 100-day challenge. So that about wraps up this video. I know that the last couple of videos have been kind of more geared towards this and not really geared towards like training and all that stuff. So I will take you guys through my training split as I go through this 100 days. I'll document the whole thing, the runs, the workouts, all that stuff. I'm going to be starting off with the push-pull legs, and then shoulders, arms, and then chest back day. I am doing 6 days a week, which I'll do a different video kind of breaking down that. But my next video, let me know if you want to see either a workout, one of my workouts, or what my full day of eating looks like. I plan on carb cycling again. So there's a lot of different aspects. I won't dive all into that, but if you do want to see what those videos look like, what my carb cycling is going to look like, what my workouts are going to look like, if you want to see just straight workout videos where that's all it is, let me know. If you want to see the day in the life, let me know, or anything like that. Just comment below. Goal is to finish this year better, in a better position than we are right now. That is all that matters. So anyways, appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will catch you guys in the next one.